Hey, babies. Hey. So let's talk about the Rambler this morning. And you may notice that the driveway is frosty. It's got down about 29 last night. Temperature is something I have to pay attention to. Also sunlight. Also measurement in doing the Pappy's Patina. Now this is the Pappy's Patina that I did yesterday. And keep in mind, I was working from inside of here with the door closed. I really couldn't get behind it. You can see here where I didn't get any, and then up there where I got some. I think all of this would do really well with an extra coat, 2 coats on that. And what I'd like to do is get me some really fine sandpaper and like 2000 grit, just lightly sand the whole thing, and then come back and recoat it again. I got to thinking about this issue where I need to do the back and I need to do the front, but it's hard to do that inside here, and because of it being in the sunlight, it occurred to me if I took the whole car out, put it in that garage doesn't have sunlight coming in it right now, and when the sun does come up, it won't be until later in the day that it moves far enough around to come in that side door. I think what I'm going to do is just back this one out, get me some really fine sandpaper, sand the whole car, and then blow the dust off of it with an air compressor, and then take it down there. Now here's a couple of interesting things I'll show you. This is the bumper, and this is where a couple of drops of that fell on the bumper. And look how good that looks compared to otherwise. Apparently the Pappy's Patina really brings the shine out on that bumper, even though most of the chrome has worn off. What happens back here is when water runs off the back of this and hits that, the friction of the water over the years has basically worn the chrome off of it on both sides. See that? So when I do this, I'm going to also do the shiny bumper and all of that. Now this car has been hard to crank in the mornings. I had to pump it a lot. We'll see how easily it cranks today, but I'm just going to back it right out in the sun. That'll also help us to get a good look at what's already on there and see how it looks. And then, like I say, I'll spend the morning hours doing the fine sanding, and then I'll move it back there, and when the temperature gets high enough. Oh, here's the other thing I was going to show you. Measuring Pappy's Patina, it's 8 parts of product and 1 part of catalyst. And I was doing it in some pudding cups yesterday that come up at an angle, and I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice if I had a single cup that I could measure 8 to 1? Well, this cup, I measured it, is 1 inch and 1/8. So I took a tape measure, and I've got another cup just like this one, and I measured off 1/8 of an inch in the bottom. So now I can pour 1/8 of an inch in that cup and fill this one all the way up except to about 1/8 of an inch from the top, and then pour those two together, and I'll have 1 batch, so I don't have to mix 8 different amounts and then pour 1 in it. I can kind of do it all at once. And this is good because I can mix a smaller amount, which, like if I'm just doing the back end of the car there, you know, I don't need to mix up enough to do the whole top. So that helps me figure out my measurements and stuff like that. So that's just a bit of more detail about how I'm doing this. Let's back it out and see how So she actually did pretty well as far as cold cranking today. That's good. So let's walk around. Obviously you can tell back here there's part that I haven't done, and you can tell up here that there's parts where, you know, when you're wiping it on, I missed a few places, and when I feel this, I can feel, I'm going to call it the grain, although wood doesn't have grain, but I can feel places where it's not particularly smooth. And that's one reason to take the sandpaper and sand it. But it is a better look than it was without it. You can see on the top here, there's some little pieces of lint and dust and things that have gotten in it. You got a good little bit of shine here. Up in this part, I was using more here than I was down here because I was trying to figure out how to put on enough but not get so much that it all ran off over the sides. One thing that might help today, and I believe I've got some, if not I can go to a store, but I think up here I've got some rollers. Let's take a look. So I've got a roller. I don't have the little short rollers that go on that, so I might run up to Home Depot first thing and get me some of those little short ones. And then what I can do is get some product on that and just kind of roll it on. So, talk about sandpaper. I've got, I'll make sure I got sandpaper before I go to town. I might need to get some. This is 400 grit here. This doesn't say what grit it is. Right. This stuff here is 80. What I might do while I'm at Home Depot is just pick up some 2000 grit. I'll just do that. I might have some down there at another thing, but easy enough to pick some up if I'm going to go up there anyway. So I think I'll do that first, and then when I come back, like I say, it'll be a little warmer then, and I'll sand this whole thing, and then we'll redo it. Okay. I'll throw that in the car with me so I make sure to get the right size rollers. Robert is back. You might can hear the music playing down there. He's working on some new dance routines for him and Honey Baby. Hey babies. Hey buddy. Yeah, buddy's going, oh, Robert's back. He's like, oh, I love Robert. I got to go see him. There he goes. Look at him run. He does love Robert. I think both the dogs too. They're really attracted to him. Okay, baby. You go ahead and see Robert. I'll be leaving in a little bit and I'll holler at you when I do. I might have some breakfast before I go out. I could. So I went over to the Home Depot and I bought some stuff. Bought some little rollers and various things like that. One of the things I picked up, and I may have some here, but I don't know, but some 2000 grit sandpaper. They didn't have any big sheets. That's okay though, because basically the purpose of using this very, very fine sandpaper is literally just to polish almost more than sand. And what we do with this is we're just knocking off the rough spots. This is almost like just polishing the car. Okay, I decided to switch to some of this 400 grit sandpaper instead. I wasn't loving the feeling that I was getting from that. 2000 grit was maybe too fine. Maybe not enough happening there. Let's try some of these. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit in the sun and dry, and then I'll pull it down to the other building. We'll get everything set up, and we'll put another coat on it. Oh, with a joy. Thanks for watching.